Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. We are starting our Moto2 career mode with Matt Grant on board the Kalex with the Petronas SRT team. So here we are in the Moto2 class. This is extremely exciting for us all. Of course, the Moto3 season went spiffingly well, and we came out on top as the Moto3 World Champion. So the Moto3 World Champion is right here, right now, following a former Moto3 World Champion in Lorenzo Dalla Porta. He's on board the Italtrans racing team. And of course, being on the Petronas Sprinter team only can mean one thing, and that is success. They are a very, very good team, and we want to hopefully bring success to them. We have brought success to Husqvarna, and we will take it to Petronas as Moto3 World Champions. So we're going to be doing the race pace right here in Qatar. We're going to do what we can, see if we can keep within the parameters of a 2:03.779 in about 5 or 6 consecutive laps. Now going into turn 7, the difficult, but I probably would say one of my most favourite corners in Qatar. I do love that change of direction going into turn 7. And once again here for turn 8 as we just lost the rear ever so slightly. Going into turn 9, now into turn 10. We passed Darren Binder here last season, of course, part of the Petronas SRT team, and we dived up in the inside of Darren Binder. Now, of course, the Moto3 season was something never to be forgotten about. It was absolutely awesome. So if you haven't watched any of the Moto3 season, I would highly recommend you check that out after today's viewings. So, of course, usual plan with these MotoGP 21 career mode videos. The qualifying and practice is right now at 4 PM, and the Grand Prix will be there live and ready and waiting for you guys to join at 8 PM GMT. But the first lap is now coming to an end, going into turn 16. Looks like Lorenzo Dalla Porta has had enough of us trailing behind him, so of course it's going to be Grant doing the business on his own and seeing what he can produce. Now I will post, or if I haven't already, posted screenshots of the brand new helmet that DrAce is running this weekend. Grant rocking the Petronas SRT Ace. That's a brand new helmet, which was of course made by myself not too long ago. I'm very excited to be running in Moto2. Honestly, I believe that Moto2 is one of the most exciting classes to play in the video game, and I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know how we're going to cope. I don't know if we're going to be really struggling. I don't know if we're going to be dominant. But I do know for the time being that I probably won't be able to utilise the power setting 1 that we were doing in Moto3. I think things are going to be a little bit more difficult, and I think we may have to use power setting 2 and 3. But a decent lap to start us off in Moto2, a 2:08.34. Of course, we still have 4 more laps to navigate to try and keep on the race pace. I'd be very happy with a consistent race pace of a 2-minute mark. Hopefully we can get into the sub 2 minutes, so the 1:59s and lower. Don't know what Remy Gardner is going to produce, because already in practice he's produced a 1:59.977. Fantastic to see Lorenzo Baldassari there as well, as we ran it a little bit wide going into turn 9 actually. Surprised we didn't get the track invalidation, so I had to hesitate a little bit and then continue going again. So as long as we can continue, we should be able to get in with the parameters of a 2:03.779. But as I was about to say, the MV Agusta, Lorenzo Baldassari up into second place. Augusto Fernandez on the Elf Mart VDS team, third place for him. Now, of course, we have had the Moto3 update with all the latest bikes and liveries, but unfortunately Moto2 is still waiting for that treatment. It's waiting for the update, so unfortunately we will not be able to cover the updated liveries in this Moto2 World Championship. I hope towards the end of it, it'll be either changed or we'll be ready. But regardless whether we don't actually end up racing with the brand new liveries, we can do another season again at some point soon. Because of course, I love playing MotoGP 21 and it seems like you guys very much enjoy watching. So this is a match made in heaven. I will continue to keep the content going and coming very fast. And yeah, I guess it's going to be good news for us all. So I'm honestly really excited for this Moto2 Championship. I have been scheming up ideas all throughout the off-season. Well, 4 days worth. And just thinking about what I can do this season, what I can do to improve my commentary, what I can do to improve on the motorcycle, and how well we can adapt to Moto2. But going into turn 4, Sector 1 seems to be our bread and butter right now. It does have one of my favourite sections, the going round the outside move that we did in Moto3, going from turn 2 to turn 3. And now we go into the difficult left-hander of turn 6. Easy to lose the front there, so do be careful. Just make sure you're not pushing in there too much and not trail braking. And going into turn 7, again, you can trail brake a little bit here, just like you can in turn 5. But you just be careful on the entry and sometimes in the middle of the corner going near the apex. But on the right hand side for turn 8 and 9, pretty well done that time. No mess ups and no mistakes from us. So providing we can keep on that way for the next 2 sectors, this could be a lap that's going to be close to a low 2 minutes. Not into the 1:59s that we would hope, but still, you can't be mad at a 2-minute mark. Great to see Tom Luthi up there in 6th place as well. A little bit strange to see him up there in 6th place as he's had a very difficult season in real life, and Marco Bezzecchi finishing in 10th right now. Still 28 minutes of this session remains until we'll begin the qualifying as we get a little bit out of shape going into turn 15. Something I have noticed in my brief, very brief time actually with Moto 2. Literally all I've done is this practice, this qualifying and the race. I have not recorded and done any other races at this point of today's video. So, this is literally the first time I've used Moto 2 in this career mode and in this game that isn't online or for video purposes. I haven't actually raced Moto 2 before, so this is a brand new experience for me, and I'm so used to Moto 3 right now that I'm still getting the braking markers wrong. A little bit rare to see from DrAce getting a braking marker into turn 1 of Qatar, but there you go, it happened right before your eyes just there. So going into turn 2, we'll get onto the right hand side of the tyre now for turn 3. Nice smooth acceleration. If you accelerate too much there, you will spin the rear up and you'll probably end up kicking yourself off, so don't do that. Going into turn 4, nice tight apex to then square it up onto the line. Do be careful of touching the green there because the lap will get invalidated immediately. Now going into the left-hander of turn 6, nice smooth entry there. Did a little bit gentle on the brakes, and I guess that's probably the biggest difference now. Doing a lot of MotoGP guides and doing a lot of MotoGP racing recently, I'm still braking like I was on a MotoGP machine. And I'm kind of used to playing other bike games at the minute as well, but of course getting back into the groove, getting back into the thick of things, I do very much enjoy it. We get a little bit out of shape going into turn 9. But still felt alright as we now go on to turn 10. Again, sliding the rear. Not really could do that in Moto 3. And you're kind of seeing a different side to Moto 2's Matt Grant. He might be a little bit wily on this one. He might be a bit of a dangerous one. Chucking it around and sliding the rear. I do feel the need to in these Moto 2 videos. I don't know why. But whenever I play Moto 2, I love chucking it in. Getting the rear tyre squirming, getting it sliding, doing a bit of drifting. I don't know why, but I just love to do it on the Moto 2 machines. It's difficult to do in the MotoGP machines. Of course, it is difficult, but it's doable, and I certainly do them. I did them quite a lot on the live stream, actually, as a matter of fact. But here in Moto 2, I could pretty much pull off decent lap times and still do that. It's very much like Sam Lowe's, if you will. Maybe it must be a British thing, who knows what it is, but we're going to be on one more lap now anyway. Going across the line, that's 1 second down from our previous lap time, which was the 2:09.70. We're getting the rear tyre up into the air there, going into turn 1, a little bit out of shape. That's not really how we want to do it. I don't mind sliding the rear in, but I want to make sure that the rear at least stays on the ground. One thing I am very positive about right now is the medium front and medium rear has lasted these 5 laps without too much of a hiccup. I don't really feel any of a difference. I'm quite confident to say that this bike and these tyres are a good combination for the Grand Prix come 8 PM this evening, so make sure you are staying tuned and staying ace for 8 PM GMT or British summertime, so it'll be 7 PM for some of you guys. I don't know, it's whatever the difference is, I'm not even sure. But we go into turn 6 for the final time of the practice session, up by 6.5 tenths of a second, so this could be a very stellar lap time if we can continue this run. 7 tenths of a second up now, could be 8 tenths of a second coming out, only 60,000th of a second down to Remy Gardner's personal best, so we completely slide it there going into turn 9. Turn 10 to navigate now as well. On the left hand side we are up by a whopping second. This could be a brilliant lap coming in from the Moto 3 World Champion, showing the other Moto 3 guys, or at least the former Moto 3 guys, how to adapt to these Moto 2 machines, especially the Calic chassis. Turn 12 navigated pretty well, gave it on the right hand side of the tyre for turn 13, didn't downshift there like I usually do, but we lost 6 tenths of a second going into the very difficult sector. We lost it, that's it, it's gone. But we didn't invalidate the lap. That's a good sign. Because we didn't invalidate it, we are now eligible to continue pushing forward, and we will continue and finish this lap. So not bad. We will stay in 9th place as things stand. That's more than enough. We need to finish in the top 14 to get into Q2 automatically, that is. And then we have done it here in style once again, or at least I do hope so. It's still 24 minutes remaining, but still, for now, that's it for Grant in Practice 1. So FP1 is over, and Remy Gardner leads the troops with a 1:59.977. So welcome back. It is now time for Qualifying 2. The action has finished up for Qualifying 1, and we will have a couple of riders joining us now for the top contenders of Moto 2. We have Iagora, Schrotter, Roberts and Cameron Beaubier making their way up into the top group to fight in Q2 for pole position. So quickly looking at the free practice results for free practice 1, 2 and 3, and there is one name that sits pretty at the top of the timesheet right now, and that is Red Bull KTM IO rider Remy Gardner. Every single session he has been top of the timetables by a little bit, by a lot. He has just been dominating. So with that in mind, I want to see where we compare to Remy Gardner this season. So I want to make sure we have a great impact right here, right now in Qualifying 2 and try and dethrone him, or at the very least, get right onto the tail of him. So currently as it stands, Bo Benschneider leads the way with a 2:03.184, Celestino Vietti in second place and Jorge Navarro in third. So Grant coming out of Sector 1, up by quite a lot of time. Sector 2 will be a telling point because we did lose a bit of time there in the practice sessions. Going into turn 7 on the right hand side of the tyre, get ready to accelerate a little bit too eager. We're up by 1.214, but of course the time that's set by Bo Benschneider is not a lap time that is really going to blow any walls open or blow any bank doors open, let's say. It's simply going to be a placeholder for the time being. We do have Tony Arbolino and his teammate Marcel Schrotter in 15th and 16th behind us. Just to mention, our goal for this particular qualifying session is to qualify on the 4th row, no lower than that. But I'm pretty confident that we don't see the 4th row in our future. I'm pretty confident we're looking at maybe a 2nd row or 1st row. If we get on the front row, I'll be really pleased because I think that's going to be absolutely crucial for the Grand Prix come 8 PM tonight. We'll see what we can do. We'll continue to push forward as we always do. 120% difficulty AI if you were wondering. And of course everything else is on realistic settings. Coming out to turn 16, this will be our first lap here in the qualifying session. So there is no doubt we will take over the top spot and dethrone Bo Benschneider for the time being. So across the line, and we do get our very first 1:59 lap of the weekend. Now I am utilising a soft front and a soft rear, not a combination I use very often, but I am finding in MotoGP 21 I do quite like the soft option. When I played Ride 4 it seemed to be the other options and the complete opposite, where I much preferred a harder option front and rear. We're going into turn 3, 1/10 and a bit up into this sector already. Keep an eye out on your left hand side of your screen there. Remy Gardner, Lorenzo Baldassari, the two men who finished 1st and 2nd in the practice sessions, are now right there and probably going to be dethroning me anytime soon as those lap times begin to develop. Keeping an eye out on the MV Agusta man first, as he will be crossing the line just ahead of Remy Gardner. The Grant's still on a decent lap. Keep an eye out for Iagora and Celestino Vietti, both men filling up the timing sheets with orange sectors as things stand. I am very concerned with the lap times that Lorenzo Baldassari and Remy Gardner are going to chuck in any moment now. They are going to be chucking in something ridiculous. I can just feel it. If they get into the 158s, we could be very well concerned, as Lorenzo Baldassari does indeed dethrone the Moto3 World Champion. But keep an eye out to Remy Gardner, bottom left-hand corner of your screen there. He's in 7th right now. He was in 7th, he's now in 8th, as Tony Arbolino inserts himself up onto the front row. As Remy Gardner's done it, a 1:58.802 as Grant goes sideways coming out to turn 13 there. Goodness me, two things happening at once there. Good job I caught that in the corner of my eye. But Lord Almighty, Remy Gardner chucks in a 1:58.802. Now I knew he was going to be tough, I knew he was going to be hard to beat, but I wasn't expecting him to chuck a lap time that was the sign of the devil, 666 thousandth of a second ahead of me right now. This is a little bit concerning to be 6/10 of a second down to the Red Bull KTM IO rider, but he is absolutely amazing with what he does, so I can't really be too surprised. I do have a couple more laps left in me on the soft option tyres. We slided into turn 1. That was gorgeous. Not great for the tyre life and not really great for the timing screens, but we'll continue to push forward and let's see if we can maintain this position or even improve. 7.5 minutes of this session remain. We could do 1 or 2 more laps on the soft and then jump in and get a fresh set of rubber. The soft option tyre is so far not looking too bad for the sense of wear. 2 laps in, looking halfway done, but at the same time they still feel pretty good. But also the mediums were a very viable race option. It looks like Augusto Fernandez has just got ahead of non-brother Raul Fernandez. Don't confuse the two. They aren't actually brothers, just have the same surname. Adrian Fernandez, of course, Raul Fernandez's brother, and that was my teammate last year in Moto3. Now, speaking of teammates, there's no sign of Xavi Vierge or Jake Dixon. I haven't seen them at all on track, and I haven't seen them in this qualifying session either. As we go on to the right-hand side for turn 9, ran it a little bit wide, ran it a little bit hot, and that is lap over for Grant. So back from the pit, a brand new soft and medium rear, but we were pushing extremely hard on the outlap as we lifted the rear up there going into turn 1. That's not ideal. That could very well have cost us some crucial time, but you know Grant's going to go absolutely for it here. He's going to give everything. Everything in the kitchen sink will be chucked at this lap right now. Remy Gardner still sits very pretty at the top there with a 158.802. There has been no changes since then. We are still 666,000 of a second behind Remy Gardner. The number of the devil. We don't want to have that number behind Remy Gardner because who knows what's going to happen. But going into turn 6 now. Oh, a little bit out of shape. But onto the left-hand side, a nice tight apex. So we were rather out of shape, but managed to salvage something quite nicely there. Turn 7 up by 0.5 of a second. We're not up to Remy Gardner's time, but we're going to be close to improving on our own. 0.6 of a second, roughly. We are 1/10 of a second quicker than Remy Gardner right now as things stand. Is this going to be a pole debut for Matt Grant on board the Petronas SRT Calex? Can he get the job done here today? 2 red sectors are in Grant's pocket right now. 2 more to navigate, and then he will take pole position surely as we go onto the right-hand side for turn 12. But don't forget, Grant has struggled into these last 2 sectors. Sector 3 to be completed. Oh, he's down by 1/10. Goodness me, this is going to be super close. I'm tensing up now as we're going to be potentially on the front row or even pole position. As we come out to turn 15 onto the rumble strip, that will lose us a bit of time, but we're already still rapid going into the final corner, getting a bit out of shape. Going into turn 16, we won't be able to pick up a toe from anyone ahead of us. Celestino Vietti veers off into the pit. Grant's got this final sector to deal with. Can this be enough? Will this be enough? Can Grant get the job done across the line? Oh, 6th place. Remy Gardner takes pole position with Celestino Vietti and Tom Luthi in 2nd and 3rd respectively. But what a qualifying session and what a race that we have set up now for 8 PM. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. And upon that note, guys, thanks for watching and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.